Good morning, Hammer and Strings. My name is Dr. Karali Hunter, and I'm the owner and founder of Hammer Strings Conservatory. And in today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a music major and a little bit about the audition process. I think this often comes as a bit of a surprise to students and parents who are thinking about becoming a music major and understanding the process. So if you have any thoughts at all of becoming a music major, regardless of your instrument or voice, then here are a few things that you should know. If you're even interested, then you should start to look at programs and requirements and different universities that you're interested in around the time that you're a freshman. Now, if you haven't done this already, it's not too late, but it's just a good idea to get started early so that you have time to kind of get to know the school, the university, and the professors and their reputation, and visit the school and some of those things on a more relaxed timeline. If you are a pianist like I am, the timeline can be a little bit longer than some of the other instruments. I will talk specifically to that with a little bit of other information about other instruments. If you are planning to audition at a school, probably 90% of the universities require an audition to be accepted into their school of music, to be a music major. So the first thing that you need to understand is what those audition requirements are, and make sure that you and your teacher are on the same page. For a pianist, this probably requires close to a year of preparation. As a junior, you should be picking out your audition repertoire, and depending on the scope of it and how big and long it is, you should start learning it as well. For piano majors, almost every university requires a Bach prelude and fugue and at least one movement of a classical sonata. Some of the bigger universities require all movements of a classical sonata. And then the third piece can be a piece from either the Romantic time period or the 20th century time period. Some few conservatories and other very elite programs also require an etude. So again, a lot of the undergraduate requirements are pretty standard, pretty much the same across the board. And I assume this follows for voice requirements and string requirements as well. Strings are going to require an orchestral excerpt. Voice students are going to require an art song in different genres, just different things. And so it's really important that you understand what those requirements are, because you also don't want your audition piece to be the very first sonata that you've ever played. You want to make sure that you have a little bit of experience with those types of pieces that you are going to audition with. So that's the first thing, is make sure that you know what those audition requirements are, and make sure you know when auditions are held. I think that this is another surprise. We think, oh, I'm a senior, I can get through my senior year and then think about college. Well, most live auditions occur in January and February of your senior year. And so if the school that you're auditioning at has a video requirement to see if they will allow you to audition in person, that video is actually, a pre-screening video is actually due the very, very beginning of December. And so that timeline, you can see why I'm saying you need to be thinking about this in your junior year, because your pieces actually have to be performance ready in December of your senior year. So even before you've hit the Christmas break of your senior year. So again, like I said, this does vary across the instruments, but I do know that pianists often take some of the longest to prepare. So if you're a piano player and you're thinking about university and being a piano major, make sure you understand when these things are happening, when these deadlines are, because you often have to audition before you even know if you've been accepted as a student of the university. So lots of interesting things come along with that. Also, you should, as much as possible, you should have lessons with some of the professors at the university. They really encourage this. And so if you were thinking, let's take ASU, for example, because that's our local university here. If you're thinking about being a piano major at ASU, then you and your teacher should work on having a lesson or two with some of the professors that you're interested in studying with at ASU. And they, like I said, they encourage this. This is not new because they want to be aware of who's coming in as well. They want to know who they should be excited about and who they should be looking out for. And so these are just some really quick tips about preparing for music school auditions, because it is really a different duck than except for sports. The arts are they're a different duck. So you want to be prepared. So if you are thinking about being a music major and you are in high school, then it is time to have these conversations with your teacher and make sure that you are on the right track and that you're not going to get surprised or even miss deadlines that you don't want to miss. So hope this was helpful. You can always reach out to us at Hammer and Strings or your private teacher if you have any other questions. Thanks, guys.